watching Numbskull News, and today I'm doing something slightly different. I'm taking a request somebody made of me from X, and not something I do a lot, but it's a topic that I was like, hey, that'd be an interesting video, good idea. So let me shout out old Johnny Jones from X. Now, he wanted to know if I could do a show with what 24, 26 schools I think the Big 12 could go to. I'm going to do you one a little better there, Johnny. So for this exercise, I'm going to show what the 2024 version of the Big 12 looks like. And then I'm going to show you in waves, if you will, what the expansion of the Big 12 can look like in the future. And each wave that I do is going to be a little bit more unlikely than the previous. So some of them are no-brainers, like, yeah, no shit, that's going to happen. All the way to could happen or, those, whatever you want to call those levels. But I'm going to do it like that. And then just kind of see where we end up as far as number of teams. So let's get started. So like I said, this is going to be the year of our Lord 2024 Big 12. 16 beautiful teams. That's going to be a hell of a fun conference, but we're going to talk about the future. What do we add in the future? Well, let's start with the no-brainers. Now, to me, Pitt and Louisville, that represents the no shit ads. This is actually going to happen. There's going to be more than this. All right, this will get us to 18 teams. This is 100% what's going to happen. Now, let's get to the next wave, if you will. NC State, Virginia Tech. Now, there's been rumors, nothing confirmed, no proof, but it makes logical sense that those two would come to the Big 12. Now, there's been a lot of talk that they'll end up in the SEC, which I think is foolish. Why in the hell would the SEC add dilutive programs to what they got going on? Newsflash, they won't. I'm just putting it out there like this. But to be respectful, I'm going to say Virginia Tech and NC State, only about 98.5% chance of happening. Basically, yeah, that's going to happen as well. Now, there's been a whole lot of talk, of course, about Virginia being sought after by the Big Ten and the SEC, and I don't believe that at all. I believe there's about a 89% chance they end up in the Big 12. All right, so just a little bit less of a chance, but I think that's where they're going, and I wouldn't doubt it at all. And of course, I made many, many videos about UNC. I think they are destined for the Big 12. That is their best possible course. I'm not believing nor buying that they're going to the SEC or the Big Ten. I don't think the value's there. I think the value's been way overhyped. The current landscape, everything you see about media deals, media markets, everything that you see about the current state of affairs of live sports tells you that there's just not value for UNC. That means the demographics of North Carolina are meaningless. Everything's moving to streaming. We're seeing that more and more. And with streaming, there are no carriage fees, people. All right, and carriage fees is the only thing that gives UNC value. So therefore, I believe both Fox and ESPN want them in the Big 12, and that's where they'll end up being. Now, Duke and Georgia Tech have a I would say have a higher shot of getting into the Big 12, or there's a more likely chance of that than Virginia or North Carolina. I just wanted to get to Virginia and North Carolina real quick. Duke is a no-brainer. Just a legendary basketball school, really good football program. Georgia Tech, they're, hit or miss with the football, a little better with basketball. They're in the Atlanta market. That'll be a nice touch for the Big 12. And, you don't want to be at just 23 teams. So I threw in Georgia Tech. I really don't know if the Big 12 would have a lot of interest in Georgia Tech. But, I could see them having that interest. I think there's enough value there for the Big 12. So therefore, a lot of words. that looks like to me 24 teams, but we're not going to stop there. I do believe basketball onlys are in the Big 12 future. Gonzaga, it's nearly happened before. I think after you make these ACC moves, you're going to start looking towards the basketball only. Gonzaga, it's out there. They want the Big 12 right now. The only reason they're not in the Big 12 because they want all of their sports in the Big 12. The Big 12 only wants their basketball. I believe there's going to be a give and take. And what I think is going to happen is Gonzaga eventually will see it our way and just go with the basketball with the Big 12. And they'll keep their other sports regional and more affordable. They're completely stupid to want everything in the Big 12. But the basketball they can make more money on in the Big 12. And I think that'll eventually happen. And as I've stated in my last video, I do believe a merger between the Big East and the Big 12 can happen. Now, I have to put this kind of down the line a little bit. I'm not saying, I would say, it's hard to say on merger, if this is likely to happen or not. I'll give it a 50-50 because I think it's brilliant. I think it does a lot of good for the Big 12. It does a lot of good for the Big East. But will it happen? Will it not? I don't know. This is right now best possible case scenario. And that's right. The best possible case scenario is a grand total of 36 schools in the Big 12. Keep in mind, 12 of those are basketball onlys. Everything else is football. So we would have 24 football teams and then 12 basketball onlys for a grand total of 36. This is nearly, I said best case scenario. This is almost best case scenario. Almost. This is actually best case scenario. All right, so we're at 37 teams. Notre Dame joins the Big 12 because the ACC collapses. And they don't join in everything. They're not a full member. They'll play 5 games just like they do in the ACC as far as football goes. They'll schedule 5 games. But they will be a member in basketball and all other sports in the Big 12. I think this could work very well. That's if Notre Dame doesn't go to the Big 10. Right now, this far out, I think there's a chance that happens, but I'll only give it about a 40% chance. It's the lowest possible percent chance. So, all of this right here, 37 teams, including Notre Dame, just basketball and other sports, but a few football games. This is the best possible case scenario for the Big 12 for the future. This would be a juggernaut super conference and would completely own basketball. The second revenue generator would be an incredibly fun and competitive football conference. And you got great brands in here, great brand value. So, Mr. Johnny Jones, this is my idea of the future, a possible future, a future that I would love to see for the Big 12. So there you have it, my idea of what I would love to see the future Big 12 look like. Now, 5 years, 10 years down the road, whatever. I would love to see that actually come to fruition. Don't know if it ever will. More than likely, it'll be some of that. I don't know. It'll probably never be all of that, but that's what I would like, personally. Now, if you want to throw a video idea, you want to throw a request out there, you're more than free to, okay? Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. If I think the idea sucks, I probably won't. But if it's something like, hey, I could do a little cheap pop kind of, content here. This could work. I can get into this. Then it's like Johnny Jones, hey, it happens. And by the way, shout out to Golden Blue Dude. He used to do something like this back in the day. I can't remember what he called it. I can't remember what he called it at all. But, shout out to him. It's kind of an idea that he came up with first. Anyway, that's all I got on this. And we'll see if y'all got any crap to throw my way that you want to see a video made out of. Anyway, Bye.